Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, where we continue the powerful and emotionally charged love story of CEO James and the courageous Deep. In the last chapter, we witnessed their reunion after weathering storms of betrayal, misunderstanding, and heartbreak, mostly orchestrated by the manipulative Trang, who couldn't bear to see James in love with someone else. Driven by envy and an inflated sense of superiority, Trang wove a deceptive narrative that shattered Deep's trust. Believing that James had been unfaithful, Deep left the home once filled with laughter and warmth. But love, true, enduring love, has a way of finding its way through the fog. James, with unwavering determination and a heart full of sincerity, uncovered Trang's lies and brought Deep back. The reunion with their son marked the rebirth of a small family, bruised but not broken. James's mother, who once hesitated to accept Deep, now looked at her with warm admiration. She saw not just a daughter-in-law, but a woman who had stood resiliently in the face of hardship and protected her family with quiet grace. But even as peace returned to their lives, darkness brewed elsewhere. Trang hadn't given up. Consumed by obsession, she believed Deep had used deceit to trap James, believing herself more beautiful, more accomplished, more worthy. In her twisted logic, the only explanation for James's loyalty was that Deep had somehow cast a spell on him. The solution in Trang's mind? Remove Deep and the child from the equation. What began as petty jealousy now evolved into dangerous delusion. Her plan? Lethal. She would poison Deep, not to tarnish her image, but to end her life, and that of her child. With calculated poise, Trang arrived one peaceful morning at James's home bearing a basket of fruit and a syrupy smile. Her voice trembled with fake repentance as she apologized to Deep and announced plans to study abroad, a noble escape, she claimed, from the emotional wreckage she had caused. But in truth, Trang was broke, her family bankrupt. There were no overseas studies. This was a ruse, crafted to win back trust and lower all guards. When she handed Deep a small bag of fruit, citing their nutritional benefits for postpartum recovery, Deep, gentle, trusting, accepted with open arms. She carefully prepared them in the kitchen and offered them to the family. But when James's mother reached for a piece, Trang intervened with seemingly genuine concern, insisting Deep eat it first, to help with milk production for the baby. No one knew this was a trap, a silent, tasteless poison carefully dosed to harm a nursing mother and her infant. That evening, the serenity of their home was shattered. Deep began to feel faint. What started as dizziness spiraled into searing pain. Her face paled, her body trembled. James rushed to her side. Before he could call for help, a cry pierced the air, from their son's room. The baby was slipping into unconsciousness, his small body dangerously limp and burning with fever. James, now panic-stricken, scooped them both up and drove like a man possessed, running red lights, ignoring horns, whispering prayers with every breath. Please, let them be okay. At the hospital, chaos erupted. Doctors rushed to stabilize both mother and child. The baby responded first, mild poisoning, likely passed through breast milk, the doctors said. James wept with relief, holding his son close, but Deep's prognosis was far worse. Already weakened by childbirth and a pre-existing heart condition, her body was failing. The toxins were spreading too fast. A doctor grimly delivered the news, "We've done everything." But it doesn't look good. James, once the cold, composed CEO, crumbled. He cried, alone in a hallway filled with sterile light and suffocating dread. Inside the ICU, Deep awoke. She saw the sorrow etched on the nurses' faces. She knew. I don't have much time left, but her pain wasn't for herself, it was for the child she wouldn't get to raise. For the husband she'd only just returned to. Her heart ached at the thought of leaving them. James's mother arrived and, holding her grandson, finally pieced the puzzle together. The poisoned fruit. Trang. But there was still hope. Hand in hand, James and Deep returned to the chapel where they once prayed on their wedding day. The stained glass windows cast a soft, sacred light as they whispered desperate pleas to God. Don't take her from me, James prayed. Take everything else, just not her. Please, Deep whispered through tears, I'm not afraid of death. Only of leaving my son, before he learns to call me mom. Then, slowly, the impossible began to unfold. Deep's vitals stabilized. The pain eased. The doctors were baffled. For someone in her condition, recovery of this scale was unheard of. It's a miracle, one whispered. After a month in the hospital, Deep was finally discharged. As James gently carried her up the steps of their home, the house glowed, not just from lamps, but from love, faith, and the miracle that had saved them. But James's heart couldn't rest. Someone had tried to murder his wife and child. He summoned his most trusted aide the next morning. I want answers, he said, his voice ice. Every visitor, every dish, every detail. Meanwhile, across town, Trang learned that her plan had failed. She shattered a mirror in rage, screaming like a woman possessed. They were supposed to die. I'll destroy her. If not this time, then the next. The stage is now set for a final reckoning, between love and madness, between a man fighting for his family and a woman spiraling into darkness.